So people know I need to wear sunscreen. We've been so ingrained, we know we need sunscreen every day. A lot of times people don't understand why they need an antioxidant. So if you can kind of create that analogy for them, which is very easy to understand, the same way that any healthy tissue will rot, the same thing is happening to your skin. So sometimes wearing an antioxidant isn't necessarily the type of ingredient where you're going to put it on and in 4 weeks you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to go, oh my god, I look completely different. This is like insurance for your skin. This is changing the way that your skin ages because you're protecting it on a daily basis. Luckily, vitamin C does have cosmetic benefits as well, but the main reason that we're using vitamin C is to prevent this oxidative damage. So really, antioxidants and sunscreen go together like peas and carrots. You shouldn't leave the house without either one every day. So not all antioxidants are created equal, right? There's so many of them out there. We hear of coenzyme Q10, there's resveratrol, there's vitamin C, then there's the new trending ingredients like acai berry, right? You go to the juice store and you get your Amazon bowl and you have antioxidants and you feel good about yourself. So when we talk about topical antioxidants, vitamin C is the benchmark. There's different forms of vitamin C. There's water-soluble forms and oil-soluble forms. Your average consumer doesn't know the difference. They're going to pick up a bottle. They know they want vitamin C. They may not be able to tell you why, but they know that they want it. So they may pick up a bottle and say, oh, this is a vitamin C serum. This is perfect. I'll take this. It might be as easy as that. However, and this comes into play when somebody's, oh, I already have a vitamin C serum, right? Well, what kind of vitamin C are you using? Well, I don't know. Well, bring in your bottle and let's take a look at it. So oil-soluble form of vitamin C is L-ascorbic acid. That is the form of vitamin C that is recognized by the skin, and there's been years and years of clinical research, and now we know that this is the most potent form of vitamin C when it comes to free radical scavenging.
And what kind of acid it is again?
L-ascorbic. So there's regular ascorbic acid too. When you're dealing with molecules, there's always a left-hand version and a right-hand version of a molecule. They're like a mirror image of one another. The left-hand version is what the skin needs, so that's what the L is. It's the left-hand molecule. You don't necessarily need to know that, but just for your own knowledge. L-ascorbic acid is what we need. The skin needs at least 20% per day. That's the dose that you need for full spectrum free radical protection. What's so amazing about this form of vitamin C is that once it's absorbed into the skin, you can't wash it off, you can't rub it off, you can't sweat it off, even in the Florida heat, even in July or August. Once it's absorbed into your skin, it is active in your skin for up to 72 hours.
Is there any areas you should focus on?
Everywhere. Really, when it comes to applying skincare, the face, the neck, and the chest should be your routine. A lot of times we just go down to the jawline, it's like our demarcation line, and then what happens? You can tell someone's age directly by their hands and their chest. So if you want to apply it even on the hands, when I'm going on a road trip and I'm driving, you better believe I have my vitamin C on my hands, my arms, and then my sunscreen, and then I'm ready to go. Yes?
Real quick, somebody that has like a sensitivity to vitamin C,
Yes.
is this going to stimulate that? Because, or...
It's a potent molecule.
So it would...
So yes, you may have maybe 2 to 3% of the population who may not be able to use this product.
That have a sensitivity to vitamin C.
That may, yeah. If they are extremely photosensitive, or if they just have sensitive, very reactive skin, it's usually fairer skin types have more vascularity, and so you may even notice when you apply it, sometimes people become a little bit rosy in the cheeks. Nothing scary looking, but if you look for it, sometimes you'll see it. Same thing with some of the peptides that we use. It's active. It's not watered down skincare. It's the real deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're using it, like I said, for free radical protection, but the beauty of vitamin C is it actually stimulates collagen production. So we have anti-aging benefits kind of secondary, and it also helps to break up pigmentation. So if you do have existing photo damage, like the young lady that we saw with all the freckles and all the pigmentation that was deep in her skin, if she were to start using a vitamin C now, not only is it going to prevent more of those spots from forming, but it's also going to help to shatter the ones that she already has. This is just a little image of your rotting apple, which is sometimes a really good visual for people to connect with, oh, that's what I need vitamin C. Now, not all forms of vitamin C will do this. We talked about this is the oil-soluble form, L-ascorbic acid. The water-soluble forms like sodium ascorbate, phosphoascorbate, those types of vitamin C aren't going to have the same effect. They may have like a very supplemental vitamin type effect on the skin, but they're not going to act as a free radical scavenger.
Why are some vitamin C so much more expensive?
Probably because of the percentage of L-ascorbic acid. L-ascorbic acid is really tricky to formulate with because it's so potent and so active. So it's constantly working. You don't turn it on or turn it off. Even while it's in the bottle, it's trying to look for free radicals to scavenge. So sometimes it can actually produce a little bit of a gas.
Because this is a pretty good high level, isn't it?
It's a very high level. Yeah, which a lot of people don't know. A lot of times, like I said, consumers, oh, vitamin C.
Right.
They don't know what percentage they're using, and they don't know what form they're using. So it's up to us to educate them. This is superior, this is why, this is backed by clinical medical research. Obviously there's things that we can claim in this scope, and then there's things that we can't claim. So on printed material or on a website, we could never say some of the things that we know that it does because it hasn't been approved by the FDA. But there's studies that even show, you were talking last night about you're using vitamin C, and it's excellent because vitamin C actually has been shown clinically to reduce the replication of mutated cancer cells. So they're called thymine dimers. They're basically mutated cells. When you get thymine dimers that replicate over and over and over, that turns into skin cancer. When you're using a topical vitamin C, it suppresses that action. So even though you may have a few mutated cells, it's suppressing the action of it proliferating and turning into a full-blown skin cancer.
Could you drink, I'm not saying, if you put that in water and drank it, what would happen?
It's not water soluble.
I know.
I don't know what it would do internally. I mean, that's a big reason why people do lemon juice with water, because the pH needs to be low enough. The pH of a lemon is too low, to the point where if you were to put lemon juice on your skin, you would get a chemical burn, not because of the L-ascorbic acid, but because of the pH level. So that's what's kind of neat about these products, is we found exactly the pH it needs to be. So we're taking the best of both worlds. The L-ascorbic acid that we need, adjust the pH so it's right where the skin needs it to be, and then you have a mega serum, so to speak. So this should be a #1 seller. This can compete with serums on the market that sell for $160.
Does it address wrinkles?
Indirectly.
Okay.
Because it's stimulating collagen production, it's one of those things over time, it's going to help to prevent. It's not going to be the product, like I said, that you look in the mirror and you see it. This is like insurance for your skin. This is like buying an insurance plan for your aging. Is that kind of, yeah.
Okay, so #1, is this at night or in the morning also?
Night.
Day.
Oh, sorry, I got day. Sorry, I knew this.
That's okay. Testing you.
This is a protector, so
This is
it's
a protector.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going on regimens and layering and all that.
So I'm glad you asked. What can correct wrinkles? So that's why we use peptides. So let's talk about de-wrinkle for a minute. Anybody know what's in de-wrinkle?
Good stuff.
Peptides. Anybody know what kind of peptides?
Polypeptide. Sugar.
That's a good answer. I guess technically they are polypeptides. So we have neuropeptides that act kind of like a topical Botox. I don't know if you've heard of Matrixyl or argireline. So argireline helps to, same method as Botox but less direct and not using a toxic ingredient. But argireline helps to interrupt the communication between the muscle and the nerve. And it's that constant communication of those creasing muscles that can cause a lot of like deeper expression lines. So these are freezing peptides, wrinkle freezing peptides. There's a whole list of them, and they're each slightly different chemically and molecularly, but they all work fantastically. They're all considered neuropeptides. There's one that's called SNAP8, and there's one that is mimics a Brazilian python's paralytic venom, right?
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's a great story. So there's a Brazilian python that has a paralytic effect on its prey, and they've taken the compounds in the venom, reverse engineered it, found a way to make it safe for the skin, And so you have these wrinkle freezing peptides. One of them is argireline, you have snap-bait, you have a snare complex, and then we have matrixyl. So matrixyl helps to stimulate the collagen production. So you kind of get to have your cake and eat it too. You have the immediate effects of the wrinkle freezing peptides, and then you have matrixyl that's stimulating the fibroblasts. Fibroblasts are the cells in the dermis that help to stimulate that collagen production.
And which product are you talking about now?
Right now I'm talking about de-wrinkle.
D-wrinkle, okay.
Daytime, I know you're getting there.
So what do you think? I'm going to pose that question back to you.
I'm thinking nighttime.
Impressive.
If it's going down in, I
Yeah.
don't know.
So nighttime is the first answer. The second answer would be you could use it morning and night.
Right.
If you were addicted to the wrinkle freezing peptides and you wanted a little pick-me-up in the day, fine. But definitely, if you're only going to use it once a day, I would use it at night.
Would that be the first guy in at night? Is that the one that penetrates the best at night?
Yeah.
But in the morning after vitamin C,
Then you can use it. Yeah, we got it. So there's another ingredient in here that a lot of times people skim over. It's called hyaluronic acid. Anybody familiar with
It
hyaluronic?
attracts and binds moisture from the inside.
Yes, I love this group. So think of it as a magnet. It's constantly pulling in water and hydration from the environment around you. So remember how we talked about serums and creams? Serums have a hydrating benefit, so they're water-based moisture, whereas creams have oil-based moisture, so they're occlusive, they're going to sit on the surface. This hyaluronic acid acts like a magnet pulling in hydration, so it helps not only with your moisture level in your skin, but that plumping effect is kind of like a quick fix for wrinkles also. A lot of times when companies come out with these new proprietary ingredients, we're the only one that has it, this is the next amazing thing, this is our breakthrough. Look at our clinical studies. Our panel received a 48% reduction in wrinkles in just 2 weeks. Do you know what a lot of times that is? They have the ingredient over here, right? They're trying to distract you, but if you look in the formula, it's hyaluronic acid. And anytime you take dehydrated skin and you plump it up with water, it's kind of like filling up a balloon or like a basketball that's inflated. Guess what? You can't see the fine lines and wrinkles anymore. So we're using it for hydration, but it does have an immediate cosmetic effect of lessening fine lines and wrinkles. Is that going to sustain you over time? No. When you're done using the hyaluronic, your skin's going to be dehydrated again, and it's kind of going to sink back in. But if you're using something with hyaluronic every day, you're going to be able to have that effect all the time. So there's some ingredients we know have a short-term effect, and then there's some ingredients like the vitamin C and these peptides that we're relying on for long-term skincare. This gives you a little bit of a visual of healthy skin and then skin that we're treating with cosmeceuticals. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about retinol.
Many sugars.
There you go.
So we've talked about vitamin C, we've talked about peptides, and we had a little bit of conversation about this last night. When we look at skincare,
Is anything other than de-wrinkle have peptides in it that we carry in MD3?
there are. So I'm focusing on a few of the range today because there is a little bit of overlap, and these are really, I want everyone to digest and master these ones before, I think in a subsequent training we'll do the others. But both the Ultimate Cell Repair and the Firm 3 both have
That's what I
peptides.
thought.
This is the highest concentration of peptides. You have 17%, which is the maximum.
And both products.
In both?
Really, a lot of times people are taking these ingredients like matrixyl or argireline that we know we want, but they kind of just like put fairy dust in. You're not really getting enough of a dose for it to be effective. So you get the cell of the product once, but that person's not really going to see a change in their skin.
Which one has the 17%?
De-wrinkle.
De-wrinkle.
Okay, that's why we're, okay. But those don't have as much.
If someone is doing,
Correct.
Okay.
And different types. They're not as direct and not as proven.
if someone is doing Botox, would this help?
Yes, that's a really good question.
Facial longevity.
So the argireline, these wrinkle freezing peptides that I mentioned, help to prolong the effects of Botox. So if you have a Botox user, their Botox is going to last longer between injections using a topical product.
What is
Boom, that could be the whole sales pitch right there. There's nobody
So
above.
I do Botox, I don't need any of that.
Chris, would most of those work, I'm assuming that most of those would work in conjunction with anything that you are doing as far as injections, fillers?
Absolutely.